Hello, thanks for downloading this pre-recorded demo of Chemishield. During this demonstration, I'll go through a typical waste flow lifecycle and I'll introduce you to the various features, benefits, and actors within the system. When you log into Chemishield, this is the main dashboard that you'll see, and there's a number of different things that you can do here. I'll explain what's in front of us though first. You'll see that we have substances, mixtures, and solid waste. Substances would refer to reagents or liquids in a manufacturer bottle, like a chemical such as methanol. Mixtures will be combinations of those substances. So if I have, say, for example, a mixture of methanol, ethanol, and water, that would be a mixture and it would have its own mixture name. And then I also have solid waste, which will be non-liquid based items, such as maybe sharps, broken glassware, or solid biohazardous waste. Chemishield allows me to dispose of waste, print labels, and scan the contents of existing waste bottles or waste bins. During this demonstration here today, I'm logged in as an account owner. The account owner has access to manager functionality, disposal operator, and technician functionality. The manager only has access to, obviously, manager, disposal operator, and technician functionality. And the disposal operator, you probably guessed it, has access to disposal operator and then technician would just have access to technician. So the features of the manager are only viewable to the manager. The manager has also access as well to logs and reporting, which we'll go through in a few moments. You'll also see there's a notification bell here, whereby the various different actors in the system are notified when there are events occurring in Chemishield. So for example, when a waste bottle or bin has been full or deactivated, the disposal operator will get a notification indicating that there's waste ready for collection in a particular area. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pretend that I'm a technician. So whether I'm operating in a lab or I'm a general operator on the manufacturing floor and I have some liquid waste to dispose of, this is how I would step through this process. So I'm going to select substances, and from this drop down here, I'm going to select bulk liquid A, a quantity of 1000 milliliters, and I'm also going to select bulk liquid B with a quantity of 1000 milliliters. I can add these to my favorites, and what that will do is it will pin those two substances to my dashboard. So instead of constantly having to search for the same substances that I'm disposing time and time again, it's a handy little shortcut for us. I'm now going to select my waste location. In this instance, I'm in waste location A. If I was in a different waste location across my facility, then I can select the waste location that I want to be present in. Once I hit dispose, it puts my substances into staging, and I can obviously remove them here then at any particular point. To proceed on to the disposal process, I hit the arrow, and Chemishield now is highlighting 2 approved bottles for me to put my waste into. It's telling me that bulk liquid A can go into bottle ending in 945 and telling me that bulk liquid B can go into bottle ending in 238. The blue signifies what's already in the bottle and the red signifies what's about to be in the bottle if we go ahead and proceed with the disposal process. Chemishield has identified these 2 waste bottles because bulk liquid A and bulk liquid B have been tagged as belonging to 2 different waste streams, and these are the approved waste streams that we can put that waste into. And this is the unique selling point of Chemishield. The Chemishield will go into a waste stream where you tell it to go. So if you don't want waste to cross-contaminate, then you can tag the waste to the relevant waste stream and you'll avoid nasty accidents, etc. from happening. So as these are existing waste bottles in this particular waste location, I'm now going to find bottle ending in 945. So I click my arrow and the camera on my device is going to activate. And for the purposes of this demo here, I have the label here on my phone and I'm going to scan the QR code. So that is the correct code. It will allow me to proceed with the disposal process. I click the arrow and I pour my waste in. For bottle ending in 238, if, for example, I pick up the wrong bottle and I scan the wrong label, then this is what's going to happen. Chemishield's given me an error message saying that the QR code you scanned does not match the currently selected bottle. So what I need to do is I need to find the right bottle ending in 238 and scan the QR code. So this two-step validation process is critical in Chemishield because it prevents accidents from happening. The labels that I was scanning on my phone look something like this. If I want to reprint out these labels, this is the interim label. When I create a bottle for the very first time, this is the very first label that you will apply to that bottle. And for subsequent additions to that waste bottle, you'll be asked to scan this QR code. The bottle has a bottle ID. It also has a label ID, the capacity of it, percentage filled, which will be totalized once the bottle has been deactivated or full. And then we have the waste stream it belongs to, the date and time, the waste location that that bottle is in, and supplier address details and a contact number. You'll also see that there's some messaging here, and importantly, it says please scan bottle for complete details. And I'll go through that in a few moments. Okay, so let's go through that process again. So for bulk liquid A, I'm going to select more waste to dispose of. Maybe some larger volumes, 2 liters. And for bulk liquid B, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Remember, select your waste location. Hit dispose, proceed with the disposal process, and you can see that Chemishield is now telling me that I need to fill up bottle ending in 945 with 1.8 liters of bulk liquid A. That will fill up that bottle. It's then telling me then that I need to put 1 liter of bulk liquid B into bottle ending in 238, and that will also fill that bottle. But remember, I'll have 200 mils left over, and I'll also have 1,000 mils or a liter left over that need to go into other bottles. And because Chemishield hasn't identified any other suitable waste bottles in that particular location, it's going to tell me to create some new bottles. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to proceed with the disposal process. I'm going to scan the label ending in 945, just like so. Proceed with the disposal process. That bottle is now full, and I can print out the final label. So for bottle ending in 945, it contains bulk liquid A. This is the quantity of bulk liquid A in that particular bottle, and there's also mixture A, and there's 200 mils of that. And mixture A is made up of bulk liquid A and bulk liquid B. Bulk liquid A, in the manager setting, I have assigned this particular GH pictogram to it, and then this is the danger and warning statement associated with that. And I'll go through that when I'm explaining the manager functionality in a moment's time. So that label is printed off. It replaces the interim label. No waste will go into that bottle anymore. Similarly, I'm going to step through the process as well for bottle ending in 238, and we're going to fill up that bottle, and now we're going to also go ahead and create some new waste bottles. So once again, I scan the QR code. It's telling me I have the correct bottle. I proceed with the disposal process, and I can go ahead and I can reprint out the final label ending in 238, and that just contains bulk liquid B. It's telling me now it's 100% full, that it's 3 liters. Once again, this is the bottle ID. So that's printed, and that replaces the interim label. Now, this is what happens when I don't have a suitable waste bottle for me to put my waste into in a particular waste location. I need to find an empty bottle to put my 200 milliliters of bulk liquid A into. So in waste location A, I find an empty 2-liter bottle. So I define the capacity. If I put my bulk liquid A into that bottle, it'll be 10% full, and there'll be 1.8 liters free. This is going to be the new bottle ID ending in 968. And I'm going to proceed with the disposal process. And I'm going to print out the very first label for that bottle. And that bottle is ending in 968. It belongs to liquid waste stream 1. And importantly, it says, please scan bottle for complete details. And we'll come back to that in just a moment. Likewise, I'm going to find an empty bottle. bulk liquid B, it's going to be bottle ending in 862. It will be 50% full. I proceed through the disposal process. And I'm going to now print out bottle label ending in 862. And you can see that this belongs now to liquid waste stream 2. So I printed out that label and I put it on the bottle. Now, those two labels, you might be thinking, well, they haven't really given me much information. So how do I find out what's actually in that bottle? Easy. You select scan content and then you scan the QR code. And once you scan the QR code, it's going to tell you exactly what's in that bottle. And here we have it, the 1 liter of bulk liquid B that we just disposed of. I can go ahead and I can deactivate that bottle. And if I deactivate that bottle, it means that it will never be presented to me in that waste location for me to put waste into. And there's numerous reasons why you might want to deactivate a bottle. If you're disposing of waste into a particular waste stream very infrequently, but you don't want that waste to be lingering in your waste location for too long, then you can deactivate it. And what that does is it sends a notification to the disposal operator to pick up that waste bottle. You'll print off that final label and you'll replace the interim label with it. For bottle ending in 968, if I scan the content once again, I'll get the final label and it'll detail exactly what is in that particular bottle. But I don't want to deactivate it, so I just click out of that. And now I can proceed on with various other actions within the system. Okay, so you can see there that Chemishield presented me with 2 waste bottles for me to put my 2 different substances into. I can go ahead and I can create or look to dispose of an array of substances, mixtures, and solid waste all in one go, and Chemishield will simply link the waste to the relevant waste bottle or waste bin. And it does that because the manager is the individual who decides where waste goes. And managers in this instance could be manufacturing managers, it could be EHS representatives, who essentially have a waste manual indicating where waste should go. That detail could reside on a spreadsheet. And what Chemishield is essentially doing is it's automating that spreadsheet. When you go ahead and you set up your Chemishield account for the very first time, you have to identify a number of waste locations. A facility can have 1 waste location or it can have 1,000 waste locations. And waste locations are just created by entering in the waste location name. So if I have a facility and there are 3 buildings, building 1, building 2, and building 3, and I have a waste location or 10 waste locations in each building, I might use a naming convention, building 1 underscore waste location 1, building 1 underscore waste location 2, etc. It's completely customizable. Waste locations are very important because we need to be able to identify the waste levels in those waste locations. And also importantly, when disposing of waste as a technician, you want to be presented with waste bottles or bins that are closest to you. You do not want to be presented with waste bottles or bins that are in another building or in another waste location within a building. So, waste streams. Waste streams effectively can be created by the manager, and they can be either a bottle, a sink, or they can make up solid waste. I can enter in the waste stream name here, hit this plus button, and that will populate the table down below. For liquid waste streams, I have this bottle icon. For solid waste stream, I have an array of icons that I can use that closely match the category of solid waste. For example, I have a flame here indicating solid flammable waste stream 1. I can also have a sink. So Chemishield is very unique in that sense, whereby if I have waste that doesn't go to a bottle, but actually goes down to drain, then we can set up a QR code at each individual drain point, and we can scan the QR code at that point to dispose of waste safely into a sink. That's the beauty as well of Chemishield, because as a manager, when you have access to reporting, you can see how much waste is going to bottles, you can see and make decisions then in order to reduce your disposal costs, because waste might actually be suitable to go to drain, but instead you've been historically putting it in bottles and being paid for by your waste vendor to dispose of that waste. So the reporting functionality provides you with a bird's eye view of your waste levels and what waste streams are being collected by your waste vendor. So when I'm setting up Chemishield and once I've defined my waste streams, I now need to look at creating my substances. So my substances can be added individually by entering in the substance name, the CAS number, entering in the relevant hazard code, and then linking that substance to a created waste stream or an approved waste stream. Now, if I do that on an individual basis and I have thousands upon thousands of substances to add, then it will take me an awful long time to get that information in. And that's why Chemishield has this bulk import functionality here. So if I select the waste stream and I want to bulk import substances or mixtures, I can do so by pulling that data in from a CSV file. And we even outline the format that that data should be presented in to ensure a successful import. We upload our CSV file, and in seconds, you could have thousands of substances linked to a particular waste stream. It's very important that when you're building your waste database, that if you have mixtures to add, that the substances that constitute the mixtures are added first. Similarly then for mixtures, I enter in a mixture name, and just like I was saying, once all the substances have been added, I then have to select the substances that make up that mixture. I'll link it to a waste stream, I'll hit plus, and it'll pre-populate the table down below here. For substances, mixtures, and solid waste, I can also export the list of waste items into a spreadsheet format. Solid waste as well, pretty simple. I can also bulk import that by selecting waste streams. If I want to add items individually, I can enter in the solid waste name, the waste stream, and I can select maybe the relevant symbol associated with that waste, hit the plus button, and that'll populate my table down below. In all instances, you can see that there's a red X and a pencil to delete or modify any of the detail there. The same in mixtures and the same in substances. Finally, in this dashboard here, as a manager, I can invite users. I can assign their roles, I can delete them, I can suspend accounts, etc. I enter in their email address, staff ID, their first and surname, assign the role, and they'll get an email notification asking them to join Chemishield. As a manager as well, I have also access to logs and reporting. So I can look at usage trends. I can track the disposal of waste by location. I can look at all of the waste in a particular disposal area. I can also look at the audit trail, and then I can also output all of that data into a PDF format. For liquid waste here, I'm going to select a number of items that I want to trend over a period of time. So I can see from February 21st to February 25th that I have disposed of 5 litres of bulk liquid A and 6 litres of bulk liquid B on this particular date. I can trend for the month, the year, the custom date range, you name it. And the trend will just update accordingly. I can export that trend data and look at presenting it in meetings. Solid waste affords the exact same functionality. For location activity, I have a date selector. I can look at all waste locations, and I can see exactly the liters of waste in a particular waste location. So there's approximately just over 10 liters of waste in waste location A. I can see the bottles and the waste streams that make up the waste in that location. So I have 11 liters that have been disposed. I can click on each individual bottle. That'll bring me to the disposal operator dashboard, and it'll give me a view of the waste in that particular bottle. If I go back to logs and reporting, I can also look at the disposal area. And the disposal area is like your satellite accumulation area, whereby waste is waiting collection from a third-party vendor. And I can see liquid waste stream 2, 1 2-litre bottle was removed from site. If you have a very busy facility, this particular area of logs and reporting helps get a very quick view and understanding of what waste has been removed from site within a particular date range. And the same also applies to containers, because as a disposal operator, if you have small bottles of liquid waste that you want to look at decanting into large containers, then Chemishield allows you to do that using the same two-step validation process, whereby you have to scan the correct large container for safe decanting. And user logs then as well give you access to the audit trail, detailing the who, what, where, when sequence of events. So you can see who's doing what, where, and when. You can see who's engaging with the system, who's not engaging with the system. If someone says they've disposed of waste using Chemishield, then you can check it as a manager to see if they actually have disposed of waste. So this can be a useful tool if there ever are accidents, because you can pinpoint exactly who has used the system and who has not. Logs and reporting as well can be outputted into a PDF format, into a table format specifically, whereby I can select a certain user, maybe all substances, waste streams, waste locations, you name it. For solid waste, it allows me to do the exact same thing. And finally, as a disposal operator and your third-party waste vendor, if you use one, can have access to the system here. And bottles will give an overview of all the bottles across all waste locations in your facility. Blue indicating that the bottles are full or have been deactivated, and grey indicating that the bottles are currently in use. You can see the bottle ID and the waste stream that that bottle belongs to. If I look at waste location 3, I can see there are no bottles found. So a useful tool to see waste levels that are across your waste, across all waste locations. Containers, these are your 200-litre containers that sit outside your facility or in a special area of your facility whereby decanting occurs. And waste bins, similarly, these are the bins that are currently active across all waste locations. Disposed of, these are the bottles, containers, and waste bins that are outside in your satellite accumulation area awaiting disposal. I hope you found this pre-recorded demo useful in terms of understanding what Chemishield is and the benefits that it can offer both technicians, managers, and disposal operators. Thank you.